Amelia grew up surrounded by success, but not the kind she craved. In her world, achievement was measured in accolades, framed certificates, and the steady hum of ambition that filled every room. Yet even as a child, she felt like a guest at her own family's table, her dreams quietly out of place among the sharp lines of tailored suits and polished shoes. Her family, a lineage of doctors and lawyers, defined achievement by degrees and prestigious titles. Their walls were lined with diplomas, their conversations peppered with stories of courtroom victories and medical triumphs. Dinner conversations revolved around court cases and medical breakthroughs. The air buzzed with talk of patients, clients, and the next big win, leaving little room for daydreams or doodles. Amelia, however, found her heart thrumming to a different rhythm. While her family spoke in facts and figures, her mind wandered to colors, shapes, and stories only she could see. Her sanctuary wasn't a courtroom or an operating room, but the dusty attic of their house. It was a place untouched by expectations, where silence was her companion and imagination her guide. There, amidst forgotten relics and hushed whispers of the past, she discovered a box filled with paints, brushes, and canvases. Each item felt like a treasure, a key to a world that belonged only to her. The world faded away when Amelia picked up a paintbrush. In those moments, the attic transformed, sunlight dancing on dust motes as she lost herself in creation. Each stroke on the canvas was a conversation with her soul, a language only her heart understood. She poured her feelings into every color, every line, letting her imagination run wild and free. She painted portraits of her emotions, landscapes of her dreams, and still life of her hopes, a vibrant world hidden from the disapproving eyes of her family. Her art became her secret diary, a place where she could be truly herself. The smell of oil paints became her secret perfume, the smudges on her fingers, her badge of honor. Each mark was proof of her passion, a silent rebellion against the world downstairs. She dreamt of a life where her art wasn't confined to the dusty attic, but adorned galleries, inspiring awe and igniting conversations. In her dreams, she saw herself not as an outsider, but as an artist whose colors could change the world. Amelia's heart pounded in her chest every time a family member came close to her attic sanctuary. The attic was her only refuge, a place where she could breathe freely and let her imagination run wild, even if only for a few stolen moments each day. It was as if the smell of turpentine and linseed oil was a shameful secret, one she had to protect at all costs. Every brushstroke felt like a rebellion, a silent act of defiance against the world outside that attic door. The fear of being discovered, of her family seeing her passion as a frivolous hobby, a waste of potential, kept her artistic endeavors shrouded in secrecy. She worried that even a stray paint stain on her sleeve could betray her, exposing her hidden world. She hid her canvases like precious treasures, tucking them away in forgotten corners of the attic. Each painting was a piece of her soul, concealed from the eyes that might never understand their meaning or the longing behind them. The weight of her family's expectations pressed down on her. It was a silent pressure, always present, shaping her every decision and shadowing her dreams with doubt. "Medicine or law, Amelia," her father would say, his voice firm, his eyes filled with an ambition that wasn't her own. He spoke of security, of respect, of a future mapped out in careful, logical steps. Her mother, ever so subtly, would steer her towards internships at law firms, her gentle suggestions feeling more like pronouncements. Even her softest words carried the weight of expectation, leaving little room for Amelia's true desires. Their words echoed in her ears, a constant reminder of the path they believed she was destined to follow. Yet, in the quiet solitude of the attic, Amelia dared to dream of a life shaped by her own passions, not by the hopes of others. The more Amelia tried to suppress her artistic desires, the more intensely they burned within her. No matter how hard she tried to ignore the pull of her creativity, it was always there, quietly urging her to pick up a brush or a pencil. The longing to create was like a gentle ache in her chest, impossible to ignore. She felt like a caged bird, its wings yearning for the boundless sky. The world outside seemed so full of possibility, yet she was trapped behind invisible bars, her dreams fluttering restlessly within her heart. The pressure to conform, to fit into the mold her family had so carefully crafted, became suffocating. Every word, every glance at the dinner table reminded her of the expectations she was meant to fulfill, not the person she truly was inside. She withdrew into herself, finding solace in the company of her canvases and paints. In the quiet of the attic, she could finally breathe, letting her imagination roam free without fear of criticism or disappointment. The attic became her refuge, her sanctuary, a space where she could shed the weight of expectations and embrace the freedom of being herself. Here, surrounded by the gentle glow of sunlight and the scent of paint, she felt safe to explore her true identity. Every brushstroke was a rebellion, a quiet assertion of her own dreams and aspirations. With each color she chose, she pushed back against the boundaries set for her, letting her spirit speak through her art. She poured her heart and soul onto the canvases, her emotions finding a voice in the vibrant hues and bold strokes. The colors became her language, expressing what words could not. The fear of judgment faded away as she lost herself in the creative process, replaced by a sense of liberation and joy she had never known before. In those moments, Amelia discovered not just her passion but her strength, the courage to be unapologetically herself. Sometimes, it takes just one act of courage to change everything. With every brushstroke, a story of resilience and hope unfolds, reminding us that freedom often begins with a single bold step. It's in these moments of bravery that we find our true voice, painting a future where possibility is limitless. Breaking free isn't just about escaping the past, it's about inspiring others to see what could be. When one person dares to dream, it creates a ripple effect, encouraging many to rise, to believe, and to reach for something greater. Together, we discover that our stories of courage can spark a movement, lighting the way for those who follow.